Yes. So, Harika,
Mhm,
thank you very much for coming to the podcast.
mhm.
So, I know you as a young and ambitious lady because you are still in your educational journey,
Yeah.
but you are already exposed to four different countries
Mhm,
during this journey. Yeah,
mhm,
I think those are your motherland, India,
mhm.
Italy, Belgium,
And
and Germany,
Germany.
right? So, among all these countries,
Mhm,
so which country do you like to live?
mhm. So, without any doubt, I would say Italy because that's the country where I am staying right now. And also, I don't know, maybe because it is a little bit similar to India. And the language they speak, I like their language because it is somewhat similar to my native language, Telugu, which is also called as Italian of the East.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and also another main reason is the weather in Italy. It's not very cold like Germany and Belgium. It's like normal weather. The highest temperature will be 15, 16, even in winter. But here in Germany today, the highest temperature is minus 2 degrees centigrade, which is very bad for me. So,
So even in the peak winters in Italy, I mean, where are you staying in Italy?
in Pisa.
In Pizza. So what is the temperature right now?
Right
I mean,
now,
usually.
I have seen yesterday. It will right now. I think it is 13 degrees or 14 degrees. But one more problem in Italy is the rains in Italy. The rains will be like storms with so much of wind, so much of high density rain drops falling
So they
down.
come suddenly and go.
Yeah, they come suddenly, and you never know when the rain will come and when the rain will go. Um, Maybe
Okay.
it is because of the sea, which is very near to the
Okay.
Pisa, the place where I'm staying.
Uh-huh.
Mm. And
So tell me.
one more reason why I like Italy, and also because of the food, the wine, and also the people there. The people are comparatively a bit warm, and they receive you well wherever you go. Of course, there are some people who don't speak English, but still they try to manage with their facial expressions. So that's why I like Italy.
Okay.
But I'm not saying Germany and Belgium are bad. They are good, but
You
the
can if you
culture,
want.
yeah, yeah, I can if I want, but the
Yeah.
culture is a bit different, and also the weather, which is very cold, to which I'm not used to before when I was back in India.
Mm.
Mm.
So right now you are doing your PhD
Mhm.
in Italy,
Mhm.
in Pizza, right? So since how long you are doing your PhD?
Since 1 year.
Since 1 year.
Mhm.
Okay. So which field is that? What are you exactly studying
Okay.
in your PhD?
I'm doing my PhD in agricultural economics, basically,
Interesting.
in which the deeper topic is digitalization in agricultural and food systems.
Okay.
Mhm.
Digitalization in,
Means in agriculture and food systems.
can you bit elaborate on that?
um, to just say you agriculture is a part of food system, and this food system is the process which starts right from the seed production until the food goes into the consumer's stomach. So it's like farm to fork. The entire process is called the food system. So
Okay.
agriculture is also a part of food system. So my research topic is to evaluate how digital technologies can be applied to food systems, whether they are benefiting the food systems or not. They are benefiting the stakeholders, especially the farmers who are at the major stakeholders of the food system and who directly work in the field. Are the digital technologies benefiting to them or not? Are they accessible to them or not? What are the challenges they are facing, and what changes need to be made at policy level to make them more sustainable and accessible to the farmers? So
So
this is my main research topic.
okay, to understand to the normal people, can you give me a small example how a digital technology can help people, like the farmers
Yeah,
especially?
yeah, yeah, yeah. To say in simple terms, to be understandable by everyone. For example, the mobile phone, which is here right now. These days, the farmers are having WhatsApp groups in which they are, for example, farmers in a region are creating some WhatsApp groups, and in those WhatsApp groups, they are sharing the practices which they are doing in the farm. And if there is some other digital technology, like mechanical weeder, if it is available in the region, the farmers are buying it together, all together, by pooling the money, because each individual farmer is small and they don't have enough money to buy the mechanical weeder by themselves.
Weeder, what is that?
Weeder,
To
to
remove the
remove the
weeds.
weeds,
Ah,
yeah.
okay, okay,
Or in Europe, we can say the robotic weeder.
okay.
So, being small farmers, they don't have enough money. So, they're buying this technology together and they're sharing among themselves each every day. Who wants to use the weeder, they can use it. And then they can share the money. So, they're creating these groups and then sharing their knowledge and any other information about these kind of mechanical digital devices available in the region. And also, if there is any natural disaster like floods or storms, they stay strong together because of the WhatsApp and other mobile apps. Also, there are weather forecasting apps in your phone, um, the apps created by the government to inform the farmers about the subsidies and the loans which they can get with the available land. So this is a part of digital technologies, and these mobile phones and these apps comes under the information and communication technologies. But there are also other technologies, for example, drones, artificial intelligence, uh, and most of the hybrid varieties that are being produced now by researchers, they're producing it based on the data which they get from the experimental fields. So they collect the data from different regions and they store in databases, which is basically the computers, and it is another digital technology.
What kind of data usually they collect? They collect.
The researchers,
Yeah, yeah.
they collect the experimental data. For example, if they want to, basically plant breeders do that. If they want to produce a hybrid variety which is resistant to some pest or disease or some floods or natural disaster, they will cross two plants having the resistant traits with a normal plant which is high yielding. So they get a hybrid. And this experiment, you cannot finish it, you cannot get the result in 1 year. So you have to continue the analysis for 10 years. 1 year in one location, the other year in another location, and the other year in a greenhouse or something. You have to test the plant in each and every soil condition and the weather condition. So because of that, these data differs from year to year and from place to place, and you have to collect all those data, compile them, and this data must be interoperable. For example, you should clearly understand which data this one is and how it is compatible to the other data.
Okay.
So based on this analysis, you will get the final result whether the plant can be resistant to this pest or not in all locations. So for example, if you consider Germany, for example, is this resistant in Germany or not? Is this resistant in India or not? So these are the different kinds of experiments you make.
So, do really farmers believe what scientists are telling
Yeah,
or
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
guiding?
Yeah, yeah. Green revolution is a big example.
Okay. It
uh,
happened long back, right?
it happened long back,
Yeah.
but even now, when you introduce a hybrid variety to a farmer, maybe they are resistant in the beginning, but you have to test them initially. There are separate farms called demo farms where the scientists will test this new variety or some other new technology, and then they will call the farmers, invite the farmers to see the results. They will come see the results by themselves, and then they believe that
Okay.
this technology or this hybrid is working, so that I can plant. And the farmers who are innovative, I mean, with more innovative mindset, they will immediately take up this
Early
hybrid
adopters.
variety. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, now I got the point. Can you a bit elaborate a bit? What exactly are you doing right now
Okay.
on the digital part?
For example,
I mean, if it is
I am
okay. You
so
know,
during my first year, for example, I tried to understand what kind of digital technologies are there in Europe, and then how the farmers are using them, why the farmers are using them, and why they are not using them. So, as a part of this process, I did an internship in Italy, in a region called Castagneto Carducci, which is in the Tuscany region of Italy. So, I have been in a wine farm uh, where
Yeah.
the main product is the production of wine, and there are vineyards. The farmer is managing the farm in an agroecological way, and the farmer is using drones and the weather forecasting technologies in the field to manage the farm.
Okay.
So she's a woman farmer and she's using digital technologies as well as managing the farm in a agroecological way. And the main important thing is it is a small farm. So I collected the data on the farmer's perceptions on how she got motivated to use the technologies, whether the capital is available with her or not, whether the profits which he's getting from the wine are sufficient to manage the farm by using digital technologies or not. How the Italian government or European government is helping her in using the digital technologies, and with what other companies she has collaborated to use the technologies, for example, with universities or technological companies or what. So I collected the data, and then now I'm in the process of analyzing the data.
So, can you a bit elaborate on your PhD experiences? Why did you choose this the area of subject?
I basically liked the PhD program that is there at the University of Pisa. I mean, apart from the research group, which I had experienced in my master's, I also liked the structure of the PhD program. For example, in this PhD program, every PhD student will have an opportunity to do an internship abroad for almost 12 months you can
Oh,
do.
okay.
And during these 12 months, your scholarship, you will get an extra 50% scholarship, and the university will support you for your living expenses abroad. So,
Okay.
you do your PhD in your research project, and if you find any supervisor in any other university all over the world, and if you want to work with him, you can just directly write to him, and then if he accepts, you can go to that university and work with him with the scholarship from the University of Pisa.
Yeah. With that scholarship, that scholarship helps you to.
That scholarship helps us in covering our expenses abroad and then going and staying there.
Oh,
And you can do your own research at the same time, experience another research group, and you can learn from you can use the facilities of another university, you can explore the another country, and then you come back and use the experience here. So
any time during the PhD?
yeah, you can do it in your second year or third year
Okay.
for 12 months if you want.
12 months.
So for me, I already did an internship in Italy, and now I'm starting an internship from New Year in Germany. And
How
then
many internships can you usually people can do?
you can do as many as you want.
Okay.
As long as it is useful for your thesis, you can do.
So you did already two internships during your PhD.
One I did, I
Okay.
finished. One I'm doing right, I'm starting from January 2024.
And what is the second internship?
The second internship is in an agricultural research company called KWS in Germany, where I will be working in a project related to crop rotation cycles in
Okay.
group strategy department of KWS.
KW is
So
a well-known.
it's a well-known
Yes.
agricultural seed company, seed production company in Germany, and also it has branches everywhere.
Okay. So this is for
So
how long?
this is for 6 months. And then after that I wrote to another professor who was working in Kassel University in Germany. As he is working on digitalization, I asked if there is an opportunity to do an internship there. So he also accepted, and now the idea is to go to Sweden after these 6 months for another 3 months or 6 months. It was not yet decided. So
Okay, uh, but all the internships can be a part of your
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, for 12 months you can do any
Okay.
kind of internship, but
The
it should
total
be
the total period.
period.
Ah,
You
okay.
can do internships for 12 months. For
Okay.
example, during your period PhD period of 3 years, you can allot 12 months for your internships or getting experience from abroad.
And then extra 12 months to go to anywhere in the universities throughout the world.
No, within these 12 months, you can go to any university and do an internship, or you can go to any company abroad and do an internship. But this internship, the work you do during this internship must be integrated in your research in some way. So that is important.
But you said this is what you will get scholarship
Yeah,
during the period.
yeah,
Extra 15% of
50%.
50.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
For
15.
example, now you are getting 1,000 euro per month. You will get 1,500 euro
Got
when
it.
you go abroad.
Okay. Got it. Okay. This is interesting.
Yeah,
So, well,
this is
like,
another opportunity to experience.
I mean, it gave you a flexibility to explore. That
Yeah.
is very important. So, uh, so before the PhD, what did you do? What was your master's?
Okay. So it was, so I did an international master's, which was basically a 2 year master program. But I did this master's in 3 European countries, in three
Okay.
European universities. And basically, I was funded with Erasmus Mundus scholarship
Ah,
during my period within these 2 years. Um, and during these 2 years, during the first year, I spent my first semester in Ghent University, Belgium.
okay.
And then the second semester in Slovak University of Agriculture in Slovakia. And the third semester in Pisa University, Italy. So at the end, I had the option of choosing my research topic within these three universities.
Okay.
As I was being exposed to different research groups in these three universities, I had an option to work in any of the research groups. So at the end, I selected PISA because, as I told you, I liked Italy.
Because of that reason.
No, not just because of
Okay.
that, but the research group and the research activity that is going there. I like the research topics and also uh, the page PISA Agricultural Economics Research Group, which is more kind of international, and also the people are more supporting and guiding you in every aspect.
So the PA,
GE page.
what is that?
Its full form is PISA Agricultural Economics. It
Okay.
is a group of researchers who are working on different European projects coming
Okay.
together as a group. And in PISA, I belong to that group, PISA Agricultural Economics Group.
Okay. Okay. So, so during your master's, you had an opportunity to study in three different
Yeah,
universities.
yeah.
Okay, that's and um, and then also in pizza, in the final
In
semester.
PISA. In the third
Okay.
semester, I studied in PISA. And then I decided to write also my thesis in PISA because I liked the research group
Okay.
there.
So this is what you're actually continuing as a
Yeah,
in
and as a
PhD.
PhD.
That's an advantage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I did my bachelor's in agricultural sciences.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did my master's in University of Agricultural Sciences in Bangalore in India, and it's in agricultural economics. So
So
the
you did
first,
two masters.
yeah,
So the first masters, what is that?
it's
The
in
title
India.
of
It's in agricultural economics.
agriculture economics. Okay. And then you're basically agriculture student in
Yeah,
bachelor's.
yeah,
Okay. And then you did masters in agriculture economics
economics.
in India. Okay. All right. And then what happened?
And then this master's university where I did my first master's in India, which is University of Agricultural Sciences in Bangalore. This master's university is a partner university of this international master's program.
Okay.
Okay, and then from that, during our second year, one of the students who studied this international master's program came to our university and informed us about this master's program. And then during my second year, I was like, "Come on, who will do the second master's? I don't do the second master's."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's what usually people may think that as a extension of some just another masters or kind of waste of time or something like that.
Exactly. I thought because I wanted to do PhD since the beginning, I thought doing a second master's will
Consume
consume some
some time,
time
right?
and then
Yeah.
it will become more late for doing the PhD. So I was a bit reluctant in the beginning to do the second master's. And then after my first master's, I joined as a senior research fellow. Even though I know that this program exists, I joined as a senior research fellow in another job
In India,
in India.
in Bangalore.
Not in Bangalore, in Tirupati, in another
Okay.
state and another city. So
It's a senior research fellow,
senior
SRF. We
research
usually
SRF,
call as
yeah,
okay.
SRF.
So you were an SRF student
I
there.
was
Okay.
an SRF
Okay.
in an national project, national Indian project,
All right.
which is basically on digital technology, which is called ENAM. Yeah. Um,
So yeah, because during the period, like to take the decision to really to apply to the next masters abroad. So during the gap, you found SRF, right?
no, I was a bit reluctant
You
and
are reluctant. Okay.
reluctant,
Yeah. Okay.
and then I don't want to do second
All
masters,
right.
so I joined the job as an SRF. But while I was doing the job, I realized that no, in between these two, I went to a summer school in Slovenia.
Okay. That means after your
After
first
my
masters.
masters and before joining as an SRF,
Okay.
uh,
You went to Slovakia,
I went to Slovenia.
Slovenia. Okay.
Slovenia for a summer school on sustainable food management.
Okay.
So in that summer school has basically changed my opinion on doing a PhD in Europe and how the research is going on in Europe. So I stayed for the summer school, I think for 2 weeks.
Ah.
During these 2 weeks, I interacted with many international students here, the students from Switzerland, Slovenia, also from Australia, and also from Africa. We did case studies on meat production, sustainable olive production. There are 5 different topics, and then we divided into groups and did
Yeah.
case studies on how to make them more sustainable. And also, there are much more interacting activities during the summer school
Okay.
regarding the researches that we are working on. And also our own cultures. We have, for example, we had one day for Indian night, one day for Swiss night, one day for
In these two
Slovenian.
weeks.
Yeah, in these 2 weeks,
Cool.
Slovenian night. We danced, we cooked so much of our own food. And then later, after coming back from the summer school, I decided that if I do PhD, I will do PhD in Europe. That's
Okay.
why after my master's in India, I didn't write any master's PhD entrance exam in India. I stopped that and started applying for PhD in Europe, and then started job as an SRF because
Meanwhile.
meanwhile,
Yes.
in the meanwhile, I started job as an SRF while applying for PhD in Europe.
Yes.
And then,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's very important to give an opportunity for any like bachelor students, even
yeah,
not
yeah,
even masters.
yeah,
If if a country has given an opportunity to go out and then see at least few weeks, like in terms of like summer trips or summer schools, internships, whatever, that give them the chance to decide even more clearly, right, what
exactly.
exactly they
When you
want to do
have
in the
an
future.
exposure, you will
Exactly. Yeah.
at least get the thought to decide what you want to do in the future.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will just stick to that place,
Yeah.
which
I mean,
doesn't.
it's nothing bad to stick to any place, but at the
Yeah.
same time, as a students and the youngsters, it's always a good practice to explore, and then finally they decide where to
Yeah, yeah.
settle down, or do their long-term journey later on, right? So that's what happened in your case.
Yeah.
So that 2 weeks of
Summer school
summer school actually really changed your
changed my
perspective.
decision and perspectives. Yeah.
Exactly. That's cool. So and then you decided, and then you started applying for a
For
PhD
a
while doing
PhD,
your SRF.
SRF.
That's interesting.
And then it's not an easy process
Uh,
because after I started my job as an SRF and started applying for PhDs, I got a lot of rejections. I don't know why, but still. I got a lot of rejections, and
So you
even
used to apply to the programs, PhD
yeah,
programs, or you used to write directly to the project investigators,
I did both.
PIs?
I
You
did
did
both.
both.
When I applied for the programs, it was a reject. They were all rejections. And when I wrote to a PI, principal investigator, they said that they don't have funding right now. Maybe I should come here and later find a external scholarship. So, but I was afraid to come at the beginning without any scholarship in hand. So I stayed there. I stopped, but still I kept applying on all the other funded programs. Um, as a part of it, I also applied for a program in which my former master's university is a partner. That program was going on that in that university. I applied. There was an open position in PhD in that program.
Ah, okay.
I applied for it, even though I worked in that research group for 3 months in Bangalore. I didn't get the PhD because I think I don't know the reason still, but I didn't get the PhD then. So
So let me understand. When you did your previous masters
previous masters.
in the thesis, during the thesis, so what do you say? You didn't get the opportunity to do
When I was
PhD there.
doing the previous masters, there was a project in our department
Okay.
in which a German university is a partner.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I worked in that project for 3 months as a project assistant.
Okay.
There was a open PhD position in Germany in this project.
Uh-huh.
I applied, even though I had experience in this project. I didn't get the
That
PhD.
disappointed you. I
Yeah, a
understand from
lot.
that. Okay.
A lot. That disappointed me a lot. And then that was a point where I stopped trying for PhD.
You stopped.
I stopped.
Okay.
And I started applying for masters.
Right. So the thing is, uh, I think I finished my masters in 2007, and then also worked as an SRF or JRF in India for 2.5 years in Bangalore, Indian Institute of Science. And but but we started actually applying to PhDs soon after finishing the masters.
Okay.
But you could imagine how many rejections we could have got. There are plenty, you know. Um, so during the JRF period or SRF period, so we used to keep on applying for opportunities abroad. But we got used to that. All right. And this selection process is also like we don't know what actually is happening there.
Exactly.
Maybe some other candidate is already there in the same project in the maybe in the same country, because the visa process and all could be easier for them to recruit immediately. So what I actually suggest students, like, not to disappoint,
Yeah.
because yeah, especially when you are already involved in that for 3 months and you have high expectations to
Expectations.
go there, and that's really a blow. I mean, like, compared to randomly applying to individual programs, but this is really a blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can understand that. That's how you should also feel. Okay, then you stopped, and you thought of continuing SRF as an SRF.
Yeah, but at that time it was suddenly after 4 months of my time as an SRF, COVID-19 came, and then everything was stopped. All the processes were stopped. The total life became
Okay,
stagnated at one place.
that was in 2019.
2020
20.
beginning in February.
Yeah, that's
So from March, there was lockdown and nothing is working out. Okay, and then I stopped applying for all these things, and then I thought about this international masters again. I came back to my presentation about this international masters. I contacted one of my colleagues who already.
sorry. Let me break it down. How did you come out of this disappointment?
I was disappointed, but back of the mind, I know I have other options which I can try and which I haven't tried until now, and
Very
then
good.
I decided to try them. So I decided to try the international masters. If I get it, even I spend 2 years in different countries. At the same time, I will get money to survive myself, and then later I can apply for a PhD in Europe. So that was in the back of my mind, and then I contacted one of my colleagues who already did this international masters. I got the guidance from her, and then I applied for this international masters, and finally I got it. So
Very good.
I was happy at that time.
Because it could appear to few people, especially elders, that's a kind of a very small problem what we are actually discussing now. But to the level of a student, it's really depth,
Yeah, because it was in the middle of your career,
right?
an important phase of your career, and
Exactly.
you have to.
It can lead to either quit or to take any extreme decisions at that time, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, completely stop this education and then do something else, or
Or
but
sometimes you might decide like you can stay back in India. Why to go somewhere
exactly,
else?
exactly.
I went into that phase some days, but still I
You didn't
decided
quit,
I didn't quit.
right?
I wanted to try all the options that are there, so I
Yes,
just tried everything.
interesting. Yes, now finally you got it. Masters, another masters.
Yeah.
Though it is a master, it's a masters, another masters. But it actually, I think it gave you a pivot to really direct your future.
Yeah,
Because,
completely
yeah, because
different path.
until your first masters, you think there is something, okay, and then, but once you go out of your area, region, or whatever, there you can see much broader. That the second masters actually gave you a much opportunity to really see clearly, or to direct your further studies, right? Or further career, to say.
Yeah.
Good.
In my opinion, the first thing is you should keep on trying. If
Yes.
you want something, you should keep on trying. And then you should get a good guidance. You should try contacting people, building your network. You should not think like you can do all by yourself. You need people to make some things happen. For example, to get my second master's, my professors back in India at Bangalore University, they helped me a lot in writing the
Okay.
research proposal, cover letter, or the reference letters they gave helped me a lot. At the same time, the guidance given by my colleagues who already did the international masters, it was also very helpful.
Yes, these days you have a lot of options with internet,
Yeah.
with social media, and it's easy to connect to the people. But at that nowadays, no.
Then how
There
you
is an internet,
managed?
but there is no. There is a social media network is not that. Just we used to contact somehow to the university people, our seniors who have settled there, but we do with email. Of
Emails.
course, we have emails, Gmail, and
And what about the internet
no
connection?
Facebook
Is
at the
it
time.
the internet connection is good in
Internet
those days or?
connection. So when I went back to my home after my masters, so I went to the telephone exchange office, BSNL in India, the biggest telephone network provider. So I asked them, I need a internet connection. As a big process at the time. So I have to give them advance and then application and everything. Then afterwards,
Application.
yeah, yeah,
Oh.
kind of. And then they give me a wire, which
LAN wire.
modem. We usually call that modem. A small wire which you usually connect to the telephone at the time. So that modem I have to connect to the CPU of my computer. The computer, second-hand computer, it's a very old computer. So, and then we have to dial it, and then it connects. It's not. It's a broadband actually. It's really broadband, but it's not that fast. But at least I can access to the publications and some information on university websites. So I used to download or read open access publications, or I used to ask my seniors there abroad to send the full like publications, and I used to read and write to the PIs. Read,
Oh.
write, read, write. So I did it for almost 1 year.
And you got rejections.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, finally it worked. One PI kept on, reading my emails, not replying, but he kept on reading for 1 year. So I used to send at least one email per month.
Oh.
So at least 12 emails per year.
Mm.
But not only to one PI. I used to write to different PIs, right? So so when the PI got a great funding,
Mm.
so literally called me.
Mm.
Do you want to come?
Mm.
So at the time I was what I was doing. I was in Hyderabad
Okay.
searching for jobs.
So you were
I
not
think
working at that time.
I was working in a marketing company.
Okay.
Yeah,
Completely different field,
it's
no?
completely different.
Okay.
So then, so what happened? So yeah, he called me, and I went to Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore,
Mm.
to work as a JRF and SRF both.
Okay.
Yeah. So rejections are common.
But
Yeah.
you should not lose hope.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should keep trying
Yeah.
consistently.
And but that's what I want to say. Like these days, you have social media networks like
Yeah.
anything,
LinkedIn, for example.
LinkedIn, right? So you can easily use that, uh, and they can get information what they want. And then what I think is these days getting information is not the problem. Getting the motivation and getting a guidance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And also getting the right information.
Right information and help to take a right decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. And then you came here to do the second master's.
Second master's. And it was also not an easy process because it was COVID at that time.
Okay.
So the visa offices were not open. I got the seat, I got enrolled, but still I cannot come to Belgium because I don't have the visa back at that time.
Okay.
And in India, because of COVID, all the visa offices were closed.
Yes.
Especially the Belgian consultancies were closed, embassies were closed. I was waiting for them to open, and then they finally opened in August. And I have to join my course here in.
Didn't you worry about? I mean, like scared about the virus? That's what my question.
No.
Okay.
No, I was not because I don't know. Somehow I was confident that even though I get COVID, um, nothing will happen to me. And also, I was cautious because I was not going anywhere.
Yeah.
At some point, there was.
No, I'm just listing how many obstacles
Yeah,
were there. Maybe now you couldn't realize,
now it was all
like a dream.
seeming like a dream, but
Yeah.
at that time,
Everything is an obstacle.
yeah.
The COVID is an obstacle. Shutting down the visa centers and offices is an obstacle.
Obstacle.
You don't even know, even though you got enrolled, people don't know whether they're not sure whether they really get into the classes.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. So one good thing is that the Belgium University people told, even though I cannot make to the in-person classes in the beginning, I can do them online. So that's a kind of
That's a good thing.
relaxing.
At least they
Yeah,
didn't cancel the program.
yeah, exactly.
Good.
Because they understood the situation of COVID. So, and then I waited for a long time to get the visa and everything. So the visa offices opened in August. And then I have to go to Belgium in September for the classes. But the process got delayed again because of COVID. And then to book a flight, there were only a few flights available at that time, and that too in an air bubble agreement between two different countries, for India and Belgium. I didn't get the right flights, and then I booked a flight on October 1st, 1 month later, the beginning of the classes, 1 month after the beginning of the classes.
Okay.
So I got the visa, I booked the flight, everything was done. I was happy, I packed. And then on the previous day of my flight, I got a mail that the flight got cancelled.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I booked the Lufthansa. And then just because Lufthansa is operating more flights than they decided in the air bubble agreement, Indian government cancelled the Lufthansa flights.
So
And it was just a blowback to me because I struggled a lot to go to
you were
Europe.
actually eager to go
I
to
was
the.
eager to go
Yeah.
because I really wanted to attend the classes in person, to meet the other people in my class. You will get a kind of FOMO when all of your colleagues are there in one place and you are back in India attending the classes online without any interaction. So it was a kind of um, blowback to me, the flight cancellation, but I decided to go. And then I booked another flight of Lufthansa, which is on the next day.
Oh, next day.
The next day.
Okay.
So in the morning, I took the flight from my place to Mumbai, where I have to catch the international flight.
Okay.
I took the flight and I landed in Mumbai. And then after landing in Mumbai, I got a mail that the second flight which I booked also got
The
cancelled.
international flight.
Yeah, the
Oh my God.
international flight got cancelled.
So you have a lot of obstacles.
I felt like all the forces are trying to
Yes.
make me stop in India and don't
Yes.
come to Europe, but still I decided to come.
Wow.
So, and then
So you were
I was already in
disappointed again
Mumbai.
in
Yeah,
Mumbai.
I was already in Mumbai, a place which I don't know. I have never been before to Mumbai.
It's a frustration, right?
Yeah, and then I have two big bags with me, two big trolleys, and a backpack. Um, I went into the airport and asked for other airlines and if there are any tickets for the next flight or something like that. And then the Air France people told me that there are tickets. And then I told my friends who was in Europe to book the tickets. So they booked the tickets for me for Air France, but that flight was the next day, not on that day.
Again.
Again. So I have to stay in the airport for I think 15 hours more to catch that flight. And then I took a launch in the airport. I stayed there for one more day and took this next flight, Air France. And then finally, by the time I reached Belgium, it was almost like 3 days when I started from my home.
Oh my
After 3 days, I started from my home. I reached Ghent in Belgium.
Finally
And there,
landed.
yeah, finally landed. But there, the temperature is like 5 degrees centigrade. It was October.
Uh-huh.
I don't even have a big jacket then. It was a
Okay.
small jacket, and then I landed. And not everything is working because of COVID. Everyone is wearing masks. And one more thing is, I have to be in quarantine after going to my room. So,
You got accommodation there?
yeah, I got the university because it's a part of the international program that the university will search for accommodation for students, and basically they prefer international students to give the accommodation in their dormitories, the university hostels. So that was a good thing.
But
uh,
you had to be stay in a quarantine for a few
yeah,
weeks, 1 or 2 weeks.
for 1 week.
1 week.
And then until during this 1 week I have to do the COVID test with the university doctor, and then if I get positive I have to stay for another 2 weeks. Luckily I was not positive, so I stayed in quarantine for 1 week, and I have nothing to cook there because it was completely a culture shock and also food shock, weather shock, everything all at once. So there was a supermarket just on the backside of our dormitory. On the first day I went and I got some ready to cook soups and everything. um, I had an oven in my room. Anything I do I used to do it in the oven. I just used to buy them from the just supermarket which is backside, and then I just used to cook in the oven. I was not allowed to enter into the kitchen because I was in quarantine at that time.
Homesick?
Homesick? Yeah.
I mean, I think these days there is homesick is not that because
Because we have mobiles,
mobiles, you have WhatsApp, you
laptops.
can,
Yeah. You can easily divert your mind even if you get homesick because everywhere you have internet, Wi-Fi. You watch a movie and then
right.
you will be all right. And then you talk with your parents in video call, you will be all right for some time. But still, that homesick is there somewhere. But if we go on feeling homesick, we cannot do any other work. So,
Yes.
but after 1 week, I went to the class. It was good on the first day, second day. But after 2 days of my class, again they made it online because the COVID pandemic increased again
I think it's
in
a second
cases.
wave or so.
Yeah, second wave. So they made it online. I just had the chance to attend classes for 2 days after
Okay.
a long journey. We had to stay back in our rooms. We cannot meet each other. Four people, more than four people cannot meet, even in the hostel premises. There should not be more than four people even in the kitchen. So there were rules everywhere. It was a kind of, I didn't feel homesick, but it was a kind of, I felt it like a controlling environment. Yeah, it was a, I'm happy that I finally made it to the university, but
Yes.
still,
So you did two masters, one master in India and another one in here, I mean Europe. So what is the major differences that you encounter? I mean, you can see between these two courses, like India and in here.
there are a lot to just say the major differences.
Major differences,
Yeah.
what you actually felt like,
The work environment,
kind of education system
the education
or
system,
anything. It can be a examination system or a depth of the syllabus
course.
or courses or opportunity based designing or whatever. So what do you feel the major differences between these two master's courses?
So in India, the research is more focused on how to increase the farmers' income, okay,
Okay.
and then how to increase the nutrition in the food, and how to make this food accessible to the poor people. More on poverty and then accessibility and then income of the farmers. All these issues are the major issues in India. But here,
Focusing on the uplifting of the
uplift,
farmers.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly,
got it.
and also the poor people. But when it comes to Europe, it's completely different. They they completely came up from the focus of income. Now they are in the range of sustainability. Environment, here all the topics are related to sustainability: environmental sustainability, economic sustainability, social sustainability, and also vegan meat, the quality of the food. And back in India, of course there is research going on the quality of the food, but the major concern there is at least you should have some kind of food in your plate
Yeah.
to eat. But here you should have a good quality food in your plate.
Right.
It's a different issue. So these are the differences I saw in research. And
So here you have then the more opportunities to see the next generation
yeah,
cutting edge uh, development. So yeah,
yeah. And
that's
also
interesting.
regarding the everything, the facilities that are available here are more compared to what we have in India, because in India we don't have Wi-Fi in the university.
Mm,
In our university we don't have a Wi-Fi, and also we cannot get softwares for free with the university ID. For example, we
which
cannot
university is
get
that in your first masters?
University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore.
Okay.
And I mean, it is the second most top agricultural institute in India, but still it doesn't have all the facilities. But in Europe, with if you have a university mail ID, you can get access to many journals, open access journals. You can get many free softwares. You can have Wi-Fi anywhere you go, all over the city. Um, and also you can enter into any public library with the university ID.
Any public library?
Public library
Yeah,
here.
yeah, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, these are the benefits also in terms of infrastructure or lab facilities or accessibility. These are the differences. And then here the class is more international. We are 45 international people in our masters.
Okay.
People, the students from all over the world. So even though I was in Belgium, I didn't feel like I was in Belgium because the class was more international. And everyone will be in the same situation like me. Everyone was feeling homesick.
Approximately how many countries you might have? I mean, people are from.
People are from all the developing countries: Africa, India, Australia, Latin America, and also people from Europe, Canada. Uh,
Okay, that's interesting. So you have an
Also from
international exposure.
Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Georgia, Philippines,
Wow. I
Indonesia.
mean, it's a good opportunity, right? You can
Yeah, exactly.
like that you can know about the countries, their
Yeah,
lives, and
it was just like you have the world map with you all
yeah,
around you to
yeah.
get the information from. You can just directly talk to people and know about their culture, their food. So,
I mean, that is the best way to learn about the different cultures and countries rather than, of course, you can also get it in movies or internet, but that doesn't give you that
yeah,
deep impact,
yeah.
the memory or whatever. That is the interesting part of your master, second master.
And then
Okay.
here I can go to 3 European universities, experience them, and then get exposed to different kind of research activities that are being there in all these universities.
Okay.
And these 3 universities in Europe are like distributed. For example, Belgium comes to North Europe or Western European country. Italy is a Southern European country. Slovakia is an Eastern European country.
Okay.
So even in this IMRT program, the partner universities are distributed all over the Europe.
Okay. Now coming back to Italy. So are you learning the language?
Yeah, I like Italian language, so
Okay.
I am learning. I finished A1 back in my master's itself.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm trying to learn A2, but it was more difficult than expected, and I didn't had time to attend a course online because I was doing internships and then moving here and there. So, but I still have to learn it. I like the language.
Going back to your childhood, so you did you were a biology student
Yeah, yeah, I
in
was a
plus 2.
biology. I wanted to actually become a medical doctor. I wrote the entrance exam, but I didn't get the seat in the first attempt. And then I wrote the second time, and then also I didn't get the seat, but I got the seat in agriculture, so I joined agriculture.
All right. And you liked it,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Of course,
course,
I liked it very much.
after you joined.
3 years, it will be completely theory, and then in between you go to fields, you sow some crops, and then cultivate them. You get the yield. But the final year was more interesting because it was completely practical. In the final year, for 6 months, you will go to a village, and then stay in a village with a farmer's family, and then you go with the farmer every day to the field, and then learn about how to cultivate crops, and then what pesticides they use, their problems at the local level, what are the meetings they are attending, how the government subsidies are reaching them. All these things you will get to know during those 6 months. And after coming back to the university, you will be divided into groups, and you will be given a crop. You have to cultivate it from the seeding to the marketing, and then you have to write a report
You have
on
to cultivate in the university
the farm,
lands, the
university
farm.
farm.
Okay.
So all these next 6 months, you will daily morning go to the field at 7 o'clock, and then come back by afternoon because it was summer, and then by afternoon you need to come back. Otherwise, it will be too hot. You cannot stay in the field.
So this is bachelor's or BTech?
Bachelor's,
Bachelor's in, okay.
bachelor's in agricultural sciences.
This is interesting. So you had an opportunity to cultivate
Yeah, we did.
as a
For
groups.
example, yeah, we are divided into groups.
Okay.
The crops for my group are sweet corn, okra, leafy vegetables, and then chili.
Okay.
So they will give
How
us
many
the
people are there
land.
in a group?
We are
I mean,
seven
in a
people.
one group.
7 people.
Okay. Okay.
7 people.
That's a decent
Yeah.
enough. Okay.
But we will be given support. We will be given the land and also the seeds from the university. Sometimes external labor will come to operate the tractor and also to give the water for irrigation.
Okay.
The external labor will come, but just to see the crops, what pests they have, from time to time checking and then giving the pesticides, fertilizers, all these things will be were done by ourselves. We did all these things.
The reason I'm stressing about this, to elaborate a bit about your bachelor's experience, because usually in India, people either go to doctor or engineer or software, whatever. But there are a lot of other fields that you can people can explore,
Yeah, yeah.
and there is also a bright future there, right?
Agriculture is the basis of
Everything.
everything.
So
So I was not happy because I didn't get into the medicine, but at the end of my agricultural bachelor's, I was very satisfied with what I did during these 4 years.
you're actually close to what is
Nature.
nature, and also have a process which gives us food. Okay,
And
so
we did the sowing, we harvested the crops, and then we just put stalls in the city to sell the produce we had.
okay,
We went into the apartments, asked them to buy the leafy vegetables, and then we got the money. At the end, we have to write a report, also the economic analysis of how much we have spent on seeds, fertilizers, pesticides.
economics,
Yeah, and then how much we got in return.
finances.
Yeah.
You also have had an opportunity to work closely with the farmers, right? I mean, like,
We basically experienced all the things that will be experienced by the farmers, because
that's what I wanted to say. Like, I mean, people may think students are like they're laying in the libraries or classrooms
no,
or something like that,
no.
right?
It's
You are
the fourth
really
year. Okay, all the 3 years we do the same. Like we go to libraries, we listen to classes. But during the fourth year, all the things we have learned in those 3 years, we just directly experience them.
this is
And then
interesting.
also,
So, do you suggest students in India to not to disappoint, and then there are a lot of other opportunities to study
always,
agriculture?
yeah, there are always other options in your life.
So, and after the bachelor's, so what
After the
happened?
bachelor's, I wanted to do PhD since the beginning. So
Right.
in between, I have to do the masters. So I decided to do the masters, but
The seed of PhD actually fell long before.
long before.
Okay.
But
Okay.
because for the masters, you can also do it in your state, or you can go to another state in your country. So in India, there is a national entrance exam to do the masters.
For all the agriculture students
All the agricultural
separately.
students separately. And
Uh-huh.
also in agriculture, you can choose a subject. For example, some people do it in agronomy, which is completely related to cultivation. Some people,
Agronomy.
agronomy. Some people do it in entomology, which is related to the insects, pests, and diseases of the crop. Some people do it in economics, like me, because I did in agricultural economics, which is completely related to the finances, balance sheet, agribusiness management, all these things. And then you can also decide to do it in soil science or plant breeding. So there are different subjects. You can choose from one of them. And
Once
this
once you
entrance
qualify
exam,
to the entrance exam, then
no,
you have the opportunities to.
no, even before
Uh-huh.
you begin writing the entrance exam, you can choose a subject. For example, if you want to write the entrance exam in agricultural economics, you study only agricultural economics and the related subjects to it.
Okay.
And then in that exam, depending on the rank, you will get the chance to choose any of the top universities in your country.
Okay.
And you will also get scholarships depending on your rank.
Okay.
It is called ICR, which is Indian Council of Agricultural Research Scholarship, and National
ICAR.
Talent Scholarships. There are two kinds of scholarships.
What is the second one?
National Talent Scholarship.
Okay. So what happened? So you wrote the exam?
I wrote the exam, and then of course I studied a lot. I still remember. I wrote the exam and I got 41st rank all over India.
Oh, okay.
And then I got the chance to choose the university. And then the scholarships will be only for the first 70 students or 100 students, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So with that, I wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and
Thank
I wish you
you.
successful finishing of your PhD.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming to my podcast once again, and also for your time.
And also, thank you so much for inviting me for the podcast.
My pleasure.